This Notebook LM video explores the connection between angels and stars across cultures and centuries. In ancient civilizations, stars and planets were seen as living gods. Later, medieval cosmology pictured angels as the powers guiding these celestial bodies, transforming old gods into angelic realms and blending cosmic order with theology, mysticism, and human imagination.
Today, we're diving into a connection that's, well, as old as human history itself. We're talking about the incredible link between angels and the stars. I mean, seriously, have you ever just looked up into that endless night sky and felt like you were seeing something more than just, burning balls of gas? That feeling, that sense of something divine out there, yeah, that's captivated us for millennia. And it turns out, for as long as we've been telling stories, we've been seeing the reflection of divine messengers right there in the stars. So today, let's trace that incredible story. Let's follow that connection. Okay, so where do we even begin? Let's start our journey way back in the ancient world. Because back then, the stars weren't just pretty lights. Oh no, they were seen as living, breathing gods. Now, this is a really important distinction, so you got to wrap your head around this. For these early civilizations, stars weren't symbols of gods. They were the gods. Literally, they were seen as active players in the grand story of the world. And this idea, it was everywhere. I mean, just look at this. You've got Sumeria, where winged deities called the Anunnaki were key figures in their creation stories. Then you have Mesopotamia, where stars and these sort of proto-angelic figures were seen as messengers of light and fire. Over in Egypt, gods like Osiris were believed to have come from specific constellations like Orion. And the Babylonians, they didn't even mess around. They were super direct about it. Planets were just straight up identified with their biggest gods. Jupiter was Marduk. Venus was Ishtar. It was that simple. But then, everything started to change. A massive transformation began as we enter the world of the Bible. The stars were about to get a whole new job description. Okay, this is the real turning point, the big pivot. With the rise of monotheism, the stars basically got, demoted. They weren't gods anymore. But, and this is a huge but, they took on this new, incredibly powerful role as metaphors. They became the symbols for God's divine messengers, you guessed it, angels. And we're not just guessing here. This isn't some subtle hint. The Bible is super explicit about it. The book of Revelation just comes right out and says it, plain as day. This symbolic link became a cornerstone for how we've understood these celestial beings ever since. And what's so cool is how versatile this symbol was. It worked in two completely opposite but equally powerful ways. So on one side, you have the morning stars that sang together at creation. That's interpreted as righteous, joyful angels. But on the flip side, you have Lucifer's fall, described as a morning star falling from heaven. What a potent symbol for rebellious angels being cast out, right? All right, let's jump forward in time. We're heading to an era where this connection wasn't just poetic symbolism anymore. Oh no, it was considered actual science. Welcome, my friends, to the world of heaven's clockwork movers. So, to get this, we really have to put ourselves in the medieval mindset. For them, the universe was all about the geocentric model. It's pretty straightforward. Earth was the center of everything, totally fixed, not moving, and everything else, the sun, the planets, all the stars, they all orbited around us in these perfect, nested celestial spheres, kind of like cosmic Russian dolls. It's a beautiful, elegant model, right? But there's one giant, glaring problem. If you don't have a concept like gravity, what's actually moving these things? What's pushing these ginormous spheres around the sky? For the thinkers of the day, the answer was both totally logical and completely divine. It had to be angels. And listen, this wasn't just some vague, hand-wavy idea. It was a fully fleshed-out cosmic power system. Think about it. Step 1, every single sphere gets its own angel, its own celestial intelligence. Step 2, that angel's will, its very soul, acts like an engine, pushing its sphere with constant, perfect motion. Step 3, the angelic hierarchy itself determines the cosmic order. The higher-ranking angels, like the seraphim, move the fastest, outermost spheres. The whole thing created this stunning vision of the universe as a perfect, divine clockwork, literally powered by angels. So what happened to this incredible clockwork cosmos? Well, let's bring our story into the modern day and figure out why, even now, our fascination with this connection is stronger than ever. Okay, so obviously the scientific revolution came along and changed, well, everything. The age of angels as the literal engines of the universe was over. But here's the really amazing part. That symbolic connection, that deep, ancient link between angels and stars, it never disappeared. Not at all. It just embedded itself even deeper into our collective imagination, into our art, our stories, our whole culture. And I mean, this legacy is everywhere once you start looking. You see it in classic literature, right? Dante's angels are still moving the spheres of heaven. Milton's Lucifer falls like a shooting star. You see it in art, from the star-like halos in Renaissance paintings to the incredible mystical works of William Blake. And it hasn't stopped. It's right here in modern pop culture. Shows like Supernatural or His Dark Materials are still tapping into that idea of angels as these vast, powerful, cosmic entities. So that kind of brings us to one last big question. When we look up at the stars tonight, what are we really looking for? Are we, in some small way, still searching for angels, for those divine messengers? Or maybe, just maybe, we're searching for a reflection of ourselves, a reflection of our own deep, timeless hope for a little guidance, a little bit of order, and a whole lot of meaning in this vast, beautiful, and sometimes silent universe.